2008, a year before the 2009 Iranian presidential election, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei already voiced to support Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's re-election. It gave people the impression that the results of the election was already decided, which was in favor of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. During the election of 2009, opposition leader Mir Hossein Mousavi was favored by the voters, but the election was eventually won by Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. People suspected electoral fraud and voiced out their opinion about the electoral results. Yet, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei still formally endorsed Mahmoud Ahmadinejad as president.
It's also known under other names like Green Revolution, Green Wave, and Sea of Green. As you can already decipher, green is an important color for the protesters because it reflects the presidential candidate Mir Hossein Mousavi's campaign color. The events have also been nicknamed the Twitter Revolution because of the protesters' reliance on Twitter and other social networking internet sites to communicate with each other due to no freedom of speech.
Actually, let me tell you something about our government. The government that we have is theocracy. You know what is theocracy? Theocracy is a government that only spiritual leaders, only they want to just enforce religious belief in our country. But we want something to have, like, we want a democracy. We want all the parties to say whatever they want. Because, you know, our spiritual leaders, they try to interfere in all the affairs, economy. I don't know, like moving with all the industry, all the sort of industry that you think. Like movie industry, I don't know what other industry is in. So we don't, and our country, we wouldn't have, since it's theocracy, we don't have that much freedom that you guys think. We don't have even the least freedom for our females. You know, our women can't like, they should cover their body and their hair, they have to wear a scarf. Why our country can't be like a country like Malaysia, like, I don't know, Denmark, or like Belgium? Why? Because we don't have freedom. Why shouldn't we have the least human rights the other country provide for their people? You know, that's the reason we want to have some change. We want to have democracy, not theocracy. That's the reason. This is the meaning of Green Revolution and Green Movement, and we're going to make it. Let's hope for a change, democracy.
Thank you. Do people prefer Mousavi over Ahmadinejad?
I think the reason might be because of Ahmadinejad is so much into regime. Actually, first of all, let me make this clear. We don't want the government to get out of our country. We want the regime get out of country. Still, Mousavi is from the regime, but he is a tool for us. He is a good excuse to us to get rid of regime. And actually, apparently, he has turned back his side to regime. That's the reason people love this guy. Because we do believe that he will bring us some hope, some changes, some freedom. He can like get away our spiritual leaders, I think, from at least from capital city and like the main the important cities, and we will have that just a little bit freedom comparing to the current government of Ahmadinejad. We want freedom, and we are sure that he will bring us freedom. That's the reason we are going to support him, no matter how.
Why did you participate in the protest just now?
First of all, I have to apologize for my cover. It's because of my security. Because the government tracks down people and haunts them and does whatever it wants in the prisons. So sorry for this.
So, do you actually want the government
I
to
didn't
change?
answer your first question.
Oh, you didn't answer?
Okay. We joined the protest because after a very long time, people actually participated in an election in the hope of a better government, in the hope of a change. Because the current president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, he messed up everything. The country is falling. Everything, the economy, industry, everything is falling. So people wanted him to change, so they participated in the government, in the election, sorry. But after that, they saw that they were cheated. There was election fraud, and they stole our votes, and we couldn't stand that, so we came to the streets
To protest about it.
to get back our votes. That was the initial intention of our protest.
So do you want the government to change or the president?
As I told you, the first intention of people coming to the streets was getting back their votes, so just changing the president. But when they saw the government was murdering people in the streets, now they want something else. They want the government to change. They want the leader to go away because his hand is
Dirty.
dirtied with people's blood,
Okay.
and that cannot ever be cleaned. We want the government to change.
How do you want it to change into like secular? Like the government turning secular?
Yes, as you know, the current government in Iran is called Islamic Republic of Iran, but now we got the lesson from our last revolution. We no more want a religious government because it doesn't work. We need freedom and republic.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Wish us luck.
Okay. Piruz Bash.
Thank you.
As an Arab,
I'm going to
do you see a link between the Green Movement and the recent Arab Spring that's going on?
Well, as a Yemeni citizen, I think there's quite a link between whatever happened in Iran, like the Green Movement and the Arab Spring. Well, that's in terms, when we talk about oppression, it's like going throughout the whole Middle East region. And so maybe in Iran it happened earlier a bit, like in 2009, according to my fellow friend. But it really is trying to thrive through that way. But in Arab, in Arab countries, especially in Tunisia, it actually thrived and like it succeeded, right? So they got over of their like ruler, and so the whole influence happened in Egypt, Yemen, Bahrain, Syria, and it's going on till now. So yeah, so I see a lot of link between them in terms of like trying to overcome oppression and thriving for human rights and freedom. So yeah. Thank you very much.
Green Movement was the greatest opposition movement after the 1979 revolution of Iran. It happened after presidential election fraud of 2009. Whether it had a direct impact or not, it was the first of a series of protests throughout Middle East and North Africa. Some of these protests, like Syria, is weakening the government of Iran. People in countries like Iran, Bahrain, Syria, and Yemen are still fighting for just one word: freedom.
No, stop.
Why are you guys laughing? Okay, ready?
So yeah, and then they would be like, you say whatever, and they do that.
Okay, I'm just recording now. You
know about it.